smelling bag for hours. Finally, they ripped it off. Do you even realize what you've done? Do you know who I am? How dare you kidnap me? I'm Meredith, the heiress to a billion-dollar business that could ruin you and your great-great-grandfathers in their graves? I'm his only precious daughter. And for what? If it's money you want, I'll just call Daddy and have him write you a check that will change your entire lives. Even your great-great-grandfather's lives in their graves. Actually, forget that. I happen to have a blank check in my Gucci bag. I keep one in every purse, for emergencies. You know what? Take the whole bag. It's limited edition. You're welcome.
What happened to your face? Did you dye your hair?
Excuse me? Are you implying I don't look good in every color? But since you asked, no, I'm naturally a redhead. FYI, the rarest hair color on Earth. I actually have 7 hairdressers, one for each day of the week, because I feel different every day. Today was my happy hairdresser. Should have gone with stress.
Boys, I think we got the wrong hostage.
You sure did. And let me tell you.
Shout it. Didn't you have a bodyguard named Carson?
Oh, dear God, don't remind me. He was too serious and way too attractive. Do you know how humiliating it is when your own bodyguard steals the spotlight? People couldn't focus on me with him around. And worst of all, I used to ask him to match his tie to my dress, and he'd just nod, then show up in a completely different color. I've never experienced such betrayal. So, yep, I fired him 1 week ago. Good riddance.
You stupid fools. You should have taken his current client, not her. Sir, what do we do with her now? Keep her. She seems interesting.
Wow. Since when do people get kidnapped for being interesting? Don't get me wrong, I love compliments, but I'm also rich, special, and absolutely kidnapping worthy. I mean, I'm basically a princess. No, I am a princess.
What about the ex-bodyguard?
Wait, he's here too? Oh, my bags! How—
Keep him with her. He deserves some torture.
Excuse me? FYI, being with me is a privilege. Just then, one of the kidnappers ripped the bag off Carson's head. He looked straight at me, those cold, piercing eyes locking onto mine. And oh my God, he looked fine. How does someone get even hotter in just 1 week?
Hello, milady.
Who even talks like that? We're not in some cheap old romance novel. Carson, my lord. When the kidnappers left, I pulled out my handkerchief and handed it to him.
Ma'am, what am I supposed to do with this?
Wipe the shame off your face? This is all because of you. They knew you were the bodyguard of their target, so they assumed I was the target. Thank God my charm worked on them and they decided to keep me alive. Hopefully they'll realize their mistake and let me go soon.
Straight to the afterlife for sure. Ma'am, these people don't joke. They're an organized, dangerous mafia. They kill their hostages.
Organized my butt? Yeah, real professionals. Kidnapping the wrong person? Honestly, I feel insulted. I expected better kidnappers. When I get out of here, I'll just tell the media they're terrifying and highly skilled to make my story sound more dramatic and unhinged.
We need to escape. I have a plan.
Carson spent days silently watching the guards, memorizing their movements, counting how often they checked on us, finding the blind spots of the camera. Me? I was suffocating, worried, and most importantly, bored. When is this going to end? My poor boyfriend must be suffering. Oh, babe. David, my Day-Day, my sugar pumpkin, my Shayla, my dumpling deluxe. I know you're absolutely inconsolable without me. But this is life, my peekaboo. We must endure through pain, through hardship, through 1 whole week of separation. Stay strong, my love. Cry into my sweater if you must.
You're still dating that idiot?
Excuse me? Can't you see I'm communicating telepathically with him? And I do not allow you to speak ill of the love of my life, my precious—
Ma'am, be quiet. Someone is coming.
One of the guards, face covered, came in and tossed a tray of food at us.
If I were you, I wouldn't give this Meredith woman any food. It'll give her energy, and she'll keep talking. Ah, women. What can they do besides talking and wasting money?
How dare he? I sprang up to attack, but Carson grabbed my wrist and pulled me back. The guard left laughing like a hyena, and I fumed.
You should have let him keep talking, ma'am. I needed to memorize his voice. He's the weaker one. Our best chance to escape is during his shift.
Well, no need for his voice. His shoe print is unique in this dusty, stupid room. I know these shoes. It's called the B for Boring brand. Ugh, what ugly taste. I wouldn't even let my enemy wear them in their coffin.
That's a very smart observation, ma'am.
Of course it is.
Then we're ready. That's a very smart observation, ma'am.
Of course it is.
Then we're ready.
That night, I unleashed my Oscar-winning performance. I started wailing in pain, groaning, kicking the floor, and clutching my stomach. At first, the guard ignored me, but I kept going for hours, moaning like a dying goat until he finally snapped and stormed inside. I dragged myself to the corner. Carson had told me it was a blind spot.
What do you want now?
You were right. We women are useless, just for talking and wasting money. You know what else? Having periods. You know what a period is? Not the lengthy one, the bloody one. Oh, my tummy. It's like I'm pregnant with a baby elephant. He made a face and took a cautious step forward, and I bit his arm. Just transferring the pain of my tummy to your hand. Oh, Mommy, wish you could see your little baby in pain. Give your other arm to bite, sir. It did make me feel better the first time. The guard was now panicking. He was about to push me away when, bam, Carson came out of nowhere, knocking him out cold. I gasped, then clapped my hands. Woohoo! Okay, let's go. But Carson turned to me.
Stay inside.
Excuse me? Yeah, right. Let him go alone while I wait here like a sitting duck? Absolutely not. But just as I tried to follow him, he grabbed my shoulders and said firm and low,
Ma'am, you need to wait here for me.
Oh, why did that sound so attractive? No, bad heart. Wrong man. Carson changed into the guard's clothes and typed the code in without hesitation. He'd memorized it just by watching the guard's fingers move over the keypad. The lock beeped and the door clicked open. From the next room, I heard punches, cursing, furniture breaking, and then silence. Carson reappeared, slightly out of breath, grabbing my wrist.
Let's go.
Wait! I need to get my bag and my heels first. How can I walk in public like this? Carson stared at me like I just asked to adopt a shark.
Ma'am, I have no time for this.
And he threw me over his shoulder and ran. Put me down, you muscular ogre!
No.
And just like that, we were out. We had been walking for hours, and I was exhausted. Hey, Mr. Fighter, why can't I just go home to my mansion?
How sure are you that it's safe there? Maybe they're waiting for you. Maybe showing up will put your entire family in danger. Ma'am, I know these people. We beat them up, we humiliated them. If they don't want ransom anymore, they just want to get their pride back.
Pride, prejudice, pickles. I don't care. At least let me make one phone call. I bet my dad has shut down every company under his name, going on strike to grieve me. I need to tell him I'm alive and that I allow him to keep our businesses running.
There's a public phone at a gas station 5 minutes from here.
When we got to the public phone, I reached into my pockets. Empty. No coins. Ugh. So obviously, I did what any smart, resourceful person would do. I started crying loudly while staring directly at some random guy standing nearby. Maybe he'd take the hint and hand over some change. Carson, clearly confused, just watched, waiting for me to shut up. Oh, I never forget those who helped me. I remember a man once who lent me money when I was in need. And what did I do in return, you ask? I became his girlfriend for 3 hours. He died a few weeks later, and on his grave, he wrote, I spent 30 years on this earth but I only truly lived for 3 hours. Obviously, he meant the hours he spent with me. Just then, the guy I'd been staring at actually approached us, smirking. Before I could reply, Carson punched him straight in the face.
One punch and some kicking.
The guy stumbled back, wheezing. I quickly stepped between them before Carson actually killed him, and, more importantly, before the guy changed his mind about giving me money. I bent down, snatched the coins from his hand, and he ran off. I turned back to the phone, inserted the coins, and just stood there.
So?
Trying to remember my dad's number.
You don't know your own dad's phone number?
Well, the kidnappers took my phone, and someone didn't let me grab my bag, where, being the responsible person I am, I keep a notebook with all my important contacts. But no, thanks to your, oh, I'm a hero and we should get away fast from the danger, but here we are.
Ma'am.
Wait, I memorized it through a song I made. Hold on, I think it goes like this. ZZ Sack, my first grade crush. Ate glue for a snack, way too much. Z40, left him for N. Oh, what a fate. Stuck with Nate, whose stinky breath I hate. N49. Dumped him for a J. Jonathan. So sweet, so fine, with hair that shined. He stood for 5. He stood for 5. 'Cause no number starts with J, obviously, but I liked him enough to have him in the song.
Ma'am, it's fine. I remember your father's number.
He dialed. The moment my dad picked up, I immediately started explaining everything, my voice shaking through my sobs. But then, his voice came through the line, and it sent a chill down my spine.
You need to disappear. Now.
And then he hung up. We sat in the park, and I just stared off into space, completely lost in thought. Carson must have noticed, because he spoke up.
Ma'am, how about we...
Who does he think he is, being all secretive and mysterious? Oh, you need to disappear, now! What is this, Breaking Bad? Should I start cooking in an RV and going bald for dramatic effect? Does he think I have a plan for this? What am I supposed to do now? Is he ever gonna look for me? Should I try calling him again? How am I even stuck in all this?
Ma'am, we don't know anything for sure, but what I do know is that we need to lay low. We can't use any of our real documents. We need new IDs, passports, everything. I know a guy who can help.
Why are you doing all this for me? You could just leave me to figure it out on my own.
Ma'am, I used to be your bodyguard, and honestly, it wouldn't sit right with me to just leave you to an unknown fate.
He hesitated before continuing.
I have a suggestion. You might not like it, but it's the best option until we figure things out.
I narrowed my eyes. Oh no. What is it?
You need to get married.
Excuse me?
A married couple attracts no suspicion. It gives us a reason to live together, travel together, and stay under the radar. It's the safest cover.
Oh, I'm not confused anymore. Of course, you want to marry me. And how exactly are you going to introduce me? Meet my wife, Ma'am Meredith?
First, you won't be Meredith. You'll need a new name. Something cute. Maybe Sally or Emily.
FYI, my name means great ruler. It suits me perfectly, thank you very much. And if we're picking new names, I've already decided on yours. Apollos.
I think I'll stick with something normal.
Then, in a more serious tone, he explained why this was the best move.
If we're married, I'll be legally tied to you. That means if anything happens, I can step in without raising suspicions. You'll be safer that way.
After some debating, we finally settled on Sally for me and Adam for Carson. Carson reached out to his contact, who arranged everything for us, including fake IDs and papers. He even lent Carson some money to help us get on our feet. And just like that, I went from kidnapped heiress to Miss Sally Nobody in a single day. Sadly, I had to dye my natural red hair and wear lenses. I went with blonde and blue. Classic disguise chic. On our first day in this painfully boring neighborhood, a girl with wild hair came running straight toward us. She looked about my age,